Hi, my voice. I'm reading the I was reading this in the gym. So if you get my book, it's 33 and 33-1. The page I was reading. It talks about the brain smasher. I'm looking up the tribes, the Fox Indian and the Fox tribe. Let's see. Since I don't ever see you boys again, because this government is sick. Very sick. I have not seen you boys, and the school district is very, very scary, because they follow you, and they make up lies and rumors, and then they get their friends and family, and they spread all that fucking negative energy. There's a lady there. I need to show you a picture. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to do another video. But there's a lady there that they're nagging at me to get. Anyways, the ancient gods have done this in Egypt. There was one thing I wanted to show or to say about the 47. Orion's belt, the hand. When the free soul has entered the celestial realm, the path of the soul stretch out before it. By most accounts, it is a realm much like the earthly one left behind, but some describe it as a river of light with free souls camped alongside. The free souls must journey down the path to the realm of the dead. And there was one where talks about the dog, and that's when I'm like, okay. Before we explore these further similarities between supposedly entirely unconnected religion of the Mississippi and the Nile, let's reflect on the passing of the spiritual system that has evolved in the Amazon rainforest and around the rainforest and around the use of ayahuasca. I am not the vine of the dead. The reader will recall that it has that name because of the indigenous context. Ayahuasca. In mentally related to death, the vision received in the Ayahuasca Terrans are considered to be resemble death and to forgive foreknowledge of the death process. Phone is really slow. HUAS. In forward of the death process, and thus at the little experience further than study of the vine of the dead appears to performing the same function of a book of the dead. Terrifying monster jaguars and serpents that approach and threaten to devour a person who's terror-stricken with will call out and to an ambush. There was one. I was reading this one, boys, so there was one. I made a spirit, and I'm he who is in charge of secret matters. I have come equipped with magic, and I have quenched my thirst with it. I lived on white emeralds, filling the winding waterway. White emmer is, of course, one of the domestic varieties of wheat, and one moreover than the particular favored in ancient Egypt. And then Cherokee, they said Cherokee, but I know in Native American, the wheat and the corn, all that is very sacred. And it's very planting. You have to plant by the seasons. It's very important to keep your crops and animals and pesticides. Like, that's why you shouldn't be using a bunch of pesticides, because there's no call for that. You should be listening to Mother Earth, Mother Nature. So that's what I'm reading. Teachers will not teach you this stuff because it's either one's not important to them or they are racist, and so they don't care about your growth or learning because they care about their personal business, their hidden agenda, which is money for their own greed. They don't care about these kids at all, because if they did, then why do they have guns? Why are these kids why are there so many kids in one classroom? It doesn't make sense. These kids are suffering. A lot of these kids have trauma and need support. And these teachers they want these kids to be soldiers, to sit down, raise your hand if you have to go to the bathroom. That's my problem. My son couldn't handle doing that. And I told them, the longer he holds it, the more he has stomach problems. So I wasn't sure what the fuck it was. Was it because someone's touching him, or is it because these schools won't let him go to the bathroom? Give me a fucking answer. I want an answer as a mother. I need my kids. I don't know where my kids are at. I know Veronica Tapia is a pedophile. I miss you, boys. I have no idea where you're at. I'm in my right state of mind. I'm communicating with a lot of people. And as a medium psychic and doing the witchcraft, there's certain things that I have to abide and trust, and I do have to trust the process, and I am. This is bullshit. The whole government is gone. It's done. The school system should be on my side. Instead, they're shutting me up. So the next video, I will show you I'm going to court, but the pictures online, they'll show you that these people are sick in the head, that they should be all in prison, life in prison for fucking with these kids. They knew, they were warned. I told them several times. I told them. They have stalked me online. This was before the WHO. I did the WHO, like, I knew it was going to be an owl, but I mean, come on. So they're using Mexicans to silence Native Americans. Mexico was always like, the Mexicans here, they come over here, but they forget they're whitewashed. I always say that they're whitewashed. My dad always said they're whitewashed. And for my dad to tell me these names like wetback or spick or stuff like that, it triggered him. It triggered him because he remembers those names. Just like the N-word. Same fucking thing, same fucking hate. So now let's call everyone a bitch then, right? Because that's what we are. Think that for everybody that's in Westminster School District. Should be investigated, if not life in prison. I miss you, boys. And Anthony, you are 18 now. Supposedly you are an adult. You could do whatever you want. I'm a mother, and there's no point for me living anymore if I can't be a mom. So it was taken from me. That was taken from me. Being a mother. Now I have to watch Stephanie CORMANY, my sister. I'm watching mom die in front of me. I'm watching mom die. Mandy Michelle, they're not related. They're related to dad. Me spider. My mom fucked herself over with nasty ass friends like Bonnie, Hailey. I can't even say her name anymore. Hailey? No. Does it even matter? No. So my mom tried to go on my YouTube. Because fuck me, right? I'm mentally ill. I'm schizo, whatever she wants to call me, because of Lauren Tapia, because of all this bullshit that's going on. I don't know what to say, because it's all lies. And for these doctors to force pills down my throat and not listen to me, for these PDs to just shut me up, shame on you. I want to cry. But the tears just don't want to come out sometimes. And then when I do cry, my cheeks burn so bad. I have no friends. I have no family. I've never met my family. I only talk to the dead. I have a lot of dead people that are like telling me that a lot of people are going to die. So I'm trying to stop them from coming to me because I don't want that shit. I don't want that negativity. They should have done prison time. When I went to Orange, I found this. I got the Starbucks because some of the games I have with the kids that I play with, the spirits, to keep me happy. I go to different businesses and I'll get cards. And so I got a card. This is Nick Van Twist. Not Nicholas. You're a fucking idiot, Nick. Tiffany and Christina. Cheers. Laurel Tide Ice Sheets. And it's sad too because like Gypsy Rose, if you know about Gypsy Rose, there's a bunch of parents that are like that. And Patty Tapia, your aunt, was like that. Was trying to get these kids sick so she would have attention. She wanted that. Her twins. Nothing was wrong with her twins. Maria and Jesus, nothing was wrong with them. But she made them sick. And karma got to them. Look at the history, look on why the family's like that, and you'll find out why they're doing it. They're doing a bunch of witchcraft. And I'm stopping it. I've been trying to stop it, so I can't help your mom any further. I mean, I can't help his mom or your dad any further. And I believe that either Mami Guetta or Papi Winchell is gonna pass if they haven't done already. If so, you can contact them by numbers, and they will let you know in a thought. So there's no reason to cry for them because you can have fun with them in the afterlife. And just know, like, hey, protect me because that's your job now. So there's no reason for you boys to cry over their death. Because I'm not sorry. They've done plenty. They could have done more. It's sad that they had to see a lot of... it's sad. But in the end, I do hope that justice will be served. And I hope that karma, I will see karma in this time. I miss you boys and I love you wherever you're at. I'm still fighting to see you boys. I don't know where to go. But I just can't go outside anymore. I just keep crying. And these police officers are getting pretty scary. Which I'd rather jump in a bus or jump in front of a bus or in a truck and just like fuck it, bye. At this point, peace, I'm out. Damn, what a way to go. Don't cry for me because those are fake tears. Oh, boys, you're gonna have so much fun. The Westminster School District is trying to shut me up. And the whole city of Westminster. because if you look at the number 47, and I talk about the number 47 a lot, and 96 and 69, I talk about it. It's in my it's in the family book. So please, my voice, I want to see you so bad, but the way this is going, I'd rather just go back to sleep.
The following episode documents the use of psychedelic drugs, which are illegal in the United States and other countries. While valuable scientific data may be obtained in controlled studies, we do not advocate the use of these substances.
It's a drug, hallucinogenic.
This is Iquitos, Peru, the world's largest city, inaccessible by road. The only way in and out is by air or by river, the Amazon River. I'm about to head up the Amazon to a remote jungle retreat called Refugio Altiplano, the refuge on the higher plane. There, I will meet with local shamans to drink an ancient psychedelic drug, ayahuasca. Ayahuasca contains dimethyltryptamine, DMT, a molecule shaped very similar to serotonin, a neurotransmitter in our brains. Ingesting ayahuasca and flooding the brain with DMT leads to what many describe as spiritual experiences, strong, vivid visions, a sense of oneness with the universe, even a sense of oneself dying. But mystical, magical language like that doesn't really seem relevant to scientific inquiry. It can often scare away those who are scientifically minded. However, understanding of the human mind isn't complete unless it considers everything the brain is capable of. What does it mean to feel at one with the universe? Why should our brains even be capable of such a feeling? This isn't about having fun or taking a risk or doing something extreme. I want to learn what my mind is capable of. I'm about to embark on a journey. Psychedelics are chemicals that are structurally similar to neurotransmitters already used by our brains. When we ingest them, they bind to receptors and alter cognition and perception in ways we're still trying to understand. When many people think of psychedelics, they think about people challenging societal norms and recreational thrill seekers. But that only attends to a particularly narrow slice of human history and culture. Fossil records, cave drawings, and archaeological digs have all provided evidence that humans have been using psychedelic compounds for thousands of years. And by used, I don't just mean in the stereotypical trip-out sense. For instance, among the indigenous peoples of the Amazon rainforest, psychedelics were, and in many places still are, a normal, common, and totally mainstream experience. As a member of these groups, believing psychedelics can heal, give visions of the future, and connect you with deities is not some weird or new age idea. It's the way things are. But when psychedelics became associated with certain counterculture movements, the United States banned research on them in 1970. Most other countries followed suit shortly afterwards. From then on, testing on humans was essentially gone. But recently, restrictions have begun to loosen up, and a few researchers have started to investigate these substances in what some have described as a psychedelic renaissance. Research universities are conducting comprehensive studies on the beneficial effects of psychedelics on addiction, depression, and cancer-related trauma. By approaching psychedelics scientifically, what we find could fundamentally transform our understanding of the human mind. When I go to Peru, I will be accompanied by Dr. Robin Carhart Harris, one of the first British researchers in over 40 years to investigate the effects of psychedelics on the human mind. He and his colleagues have found that psychedelics don't increase brain activity, as previously thought. Instead, they decrease activity in certain areas. And the greater the decrease, the greater the reported feelings of what is called ego dissolution, or ego death. Your ego is your self-identity. It's the part that separates you from everything else. The part that creates narratives about the outside world and your story in it. When the ego dissolves, your sensations and feelings don't cease, like when you're unconscious. Instead, your attachment to your identity does. And all that's left is naked perception. Ego dissolution is a concept that I find difficult to wrap my head around. But people who take psychedelics say that it can be an extremely frightening experience, but also a profoundly transformative one. One that makes them feel more connected to others and to nature. Now, I knew that I might feel ego dissolution on ayahuasca, so to make sure I was ready, I decided to speak to some experts. Before setting off to Peru, Dr. Carhart Harris traveled from Imperial College London to meet with me.
This will be one of the first times that anyone has scanned a healthy person's brain with fMRI before and after ayahuasca.
Yeah.
It's quite pioneering work, really.
The thing that's on my mind right now is intention.
Yeah.
I've heard you should know why you're drinking ayahuasca.
Yeah. I would suggest that you think about an emotional intention.
To make it emotional, it's a lot more frightening to me.
Yeah.
Partly I think I'm quite happy and I don't want to ruin that, right? I don't want to drink ayahuasca and then think, oh my gosh, I'm not close enough to my mom. Or I don't show my wife I appreciate her enough, and now I just feel terrible.
There's something to be said for sitting with those thoughts. Be mindful
Right.
of them. And in so doing, they become less of a threat. You look them in the eye, and all of a sudden, they reveal things to you, and their scariness seems to dissipate.
I hope I can embrace that while I'm surrounded by people who are all filming me, you know?
Yeah, the most important thing is that intention to go in. You dive in and
You
through.
don't resist.
You don't resist.
Yeah, I think that'll really be important while I'm on the trip. Robin has arranged for me to have a number of scientific tests in order to measure brain activity, behavioral differences, and physiological changes to my brain.
Today we are scanning Michael's brain with functional magnetic resonance imaging, or fMRI. This allows us to see the whole brain and how different parts connect and talk to one another. This way we can compare how Michael's brain may change before his experience with ayahuasca to after the ayahuasca experience. I expect to see that one network of the brain that relates to introspection will become more strongly connected after the ayahuasca.
After meeting Robin, I still felt some trepidation about my trip. But with my pre-ayahuasca fMRI completed, it was time to go to Peru. The trip to the Refugio Altiplano retreat involved a flight to Lima, Peru, a second flight to Iquitos, Peru, followed by a 90-minute boat ride up the Amazon River. It was a long journey, and every minute I got closer meant it was that much harder to turn back. The Refugio Altiplano retreat is in a remote area of the Amazon rainforest in the northern part of Peru. It would be an authentic setting for my ayahuasca experience.
I'm gonna go inside.
Ayahuasca means the vine of the soul. Ayahuasca has been used for possibly over 4,000 years in shamanic rituals and is the primary plant medicine for healing in the villages.
Judging from the earliest reports of Spanish and
the ayahuasca
Portuguese
ceremony just hours
expeditions,
away,
says
I met with Jose,
Wilkinson,
the
the
shaman
answer
who would
will
be my
certainly
guide during
have
this
to be in
experience.
the
Hola, Jose.
affirmative. He draws particular attention to one of the cities mentioned earlier that extended more than 20 kilometers from the end to end. and to another settlement.
Jose, how do you feel about someone like me
How
coming in?
about described as more
Is not
than
part of
2
your culture, taking part in it in a way that might not come from the same history?
Para mí no hay ninguna diferencia.
For me, there's no difference. And for the medicine, it makes no difference. This medicine, all it wants is to make your life better and heal you.
On the very first night with our guests, we give them a very small medicinal dose to see how each person is going to react differently to the medicine. And then tomorrow night we'll dial it up a little bit.
It was great to speak with Jose about what the ceremony will entail. I am nervous about the emotional part of it, and I'm nervous about the visions and feeling like I've been disconnected from the real world.
Yeah.
Scientists know very little about how ayahuasca works, since its illegal status in many countries makes it difficult to study.
So this is why it's very important for me to not go and do like a bunch of street drugs or drinking alcohol and doing that shit, because I'm trying to, if I want these stuff to work, if I'm trying to do the hallucinogenic stuff, then it has to work. I want it to work. I tried alcohol before, I did not like it. It does make you, it's just like it's like that, if you can, it's just like that, but it's a different form, and I don't like it, because you can't do anything with it, and it does linger, whereas the weed, you think, and in alcohol, you really can't think. And smoking cigarettes, the tobacco. No, I haven't not. I tried cigar before. That just got me sick. I didn't really get much, but I was also young at the time. But the tobacco does get me sick, but it does give me a headache high, which is the same as if you're holding your breath, you get the same effect. So it doesn't do anything. You can get the same effect as holding your breath or smelling paint for a long period of time is the same thing as smoking a cigarette with the same amount. Like for me, the hallucinations. Alcohol, I would get dreams of like uneasy. So that would tell me that it's not good. Like there's something else. I'm more open.
Of course, we can't wheel an MRI scanner up into the jungle.
And so with the other things, I'm more guarded. It's hard to explain if you're not here with me, so I can describe it to you.
According to Jose, this flower bath would protect me from bad spirits during the ceremony. With Rio,
this is why Elvis, for some reason, I think that's why they were using Elvis, because of Memphis, Mississippi, and the license plates, the jailhouse rock, the rock and roll thing. It's for America.
The initial smaller dose ceremony was expected to last about 2 hours, with the effects beginning after about 30 minutes.
And I met a lot of homeless people that they man, they're so freaking smart, and it's all because of Trump. Like people be using them like man. I was telling them, I'm like, you know what, when shit hits the fan and there's gonna be a big earthquake, there's gonna be a massive earthquake, you guys know what to do. You guys are the first responders. I guarantee it, you guys are gonna be the first responders. And he's like, how so? And I'm like, you guys know how to live like this. They don't. You are gonna put them at ease. You're gonna be the ones telling them what to do. You guys are gonna be the ones that are settling the shit, like, hey, that goes there, you can't do this, you can't, you know? You guys,
after swallowing it all, my heart started racing.
Think of that. He's like, yeah, I didn't think about it that way. You know, and I'm like, no, what you guys are doing, you know, prepare, because they're coming. These white people are gonna be coming, and they're gonna tempt you with all this shit. You know, you don't need it.
Throughout the ceremony, Shaman Jose
They don't need it.
sang
They're gonna find
hicaros,
out. They're not gonna
chants,
need it.
which were meant to guide me through my spiritual experience.
Full house. Yeah. Love you boys. See you boys in a bit.